Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever and whenever you are. My name is John, or Last Frontier Bricks, and this is my review of the LEGO Star Wars 20th Anniversary Snowspeeder and its accompanying polybag. The polybag is set number 30384 and comes with 49 pieces, while the full play scale Snowspeeder is set number 75259, and it comes with a total of 309 pieces plus 4 figures, and originally retailed for $40, although nowadays, the polybag Snowspeeder came out with the usual 5, and you can still get it at that price. The playscale one, on the other hand, you're looking at spending at no less than $100, and that might be due to an interesting fact about that Snowspeeder. Most LEGO Star Wars sets are usually on shelves for 2 years, give or take. This guy, all of 8 months, which is almost kind of disappointing, because A, it's surprising that it was on the shelf for that little time, and B, if it had its full usual 2-year lifespan, it would have been on the shelf at the same time as the AT-AT Walker, which only came out about a year later. For the instructions, the polybag Snowspeeder has the usual polybag instruction manual, just a regular fold out, nothing special. With the exception of that silver 20th anniversary logo. So nothing too crazy there. As for the minifigure Snowspeeder, of course, it's got the usual box art and the 20 years silver style design, and it's got the same little message at the beginning as all the other 20th anniversary sets. Feel free to pause the video right now if you wish to read that. And then it also has the usual comparison of the new version compared to the old version. The old version, which originally came out in 1999, had 212 pieces. It is something that the one of the boxes specifically mentions. Its features was originally designed without the harpoon and tow cable. Interesting. And for the color scheme, it says released as a generic Rebel Snowspeeder in 1999. It has been updated to match Luke Skywalker's Snowspeeder, which has gray markings. And for the anniversary version, it has some new features. The larger cockpit means easy access to pilots and rear storage compartments. It's an improved design with a more complex build with extra pieces, a cockpit canopy, and new printed decoration. And extra playability includes spring-loaded shooters, a stud blaster, and a harpoon with cable, plus a stud-firing rebel cannon. Although, admittedly, the original one did have a cannon as well, but just no stud shooter. And for our 20th anniversary figure, we have a probably very sought out the figure Lando Calrissian, which originally was only available in the original Cloud City set. So the original one is definitely a hard one to get a hold of. You're definitely gonna be paying an arm and a leg to get a hold of him. As for what it says for the Lando Calrissian minifigure, a debonair smuggler and gambler, Lando Calrissian became Baron Administrator of Cloud City, where he was forced to betray Han Solo, but later joined the Rebel Alliance in their battle against the evil Empire. This classic minifigure is identical to the original release, featuring Lando's famous cape detail. And again, it shows all the 20th anniversary sets, plus all the classic 20th anniversary characters that come with it. And of course, lastly, before the instructions begin, we get some good shots of the Battle of Hoth, including a couple of shots of the Snowspeeders in action. As for what it says, for the Battle of Hoth, it says, piloting his Snowspeeder, Luke Skywalker leads Rogue Squadron in a near-suicidal attack against advancing Imperial forces on the planet Hoth. After bringing down an AT-AT Walker with his tow cable, he shot down and narrowly escapes with his life. Though technically the one that got it was Wedge, as Luke's pilot Dak was killed before they even reached the Walkers. Anyway, after that it does the usual ads for the instructions, into the LEGO Life app, and then it just jumps straight into the build. At the back, you have your usual list of pieces, and the same, and as for the exact same sets that we've seen in all these 20th anniversary sets. So nothing too crazy going on with the instructions, but a lot of fun details. Let's go ahead and start with this review, starting with the microscale Snowspeeder. Alright, here is our microscale Snowspeeder. Not too big, I mean, it is only 49 pieces, but as you can see, it fits pretty well in the palm of my hand. Some interesting piece use, mainly the orange coloring, and that is for a very specific reason. This is supposed to be an homage to that original 1999 Snowspeeder, so it's got the orange markings instead of just plain old gray. Some interesting piece usage here with the poles used as laser cannons. Instead, they've got one of these magnifying glass pieces. Mine just blanked out there. Magnifying glass pieces for the harpoon As you can see, it's got a couple of these reverse slope pieces for the bottom, keep it stable when it's sitting on the ground. It's a fun little mini build, and for $5, I honestly did not feel like I got snitched. Didn't feel like it was overpriced. It's a fun little build. And starting off with our figures for the full scale Snowspeeder, of course, as usual, we're starting off with the 20th anniversary figure, that being Lando Calrissian. Fun little piece of Lego history, that the original Lando figure was the first Lego minifigure that wasn't yellow. Of course, the actor Billy D. Williams is African American, and they did the figure likewise. So yeah, fun little detail there. Speaking of fun little details, they definitely nailed Billy D. Williams' look for the face. Good choice of hair. Nice detailing on the torso for the time. Interesting fact about the cape: it's actually double colored. Yellow on the inside, blue on the outside. And Lego duplicated that with this figure. And of course, since you bring up the back the cape, you got the 20 years of Lego Star Wars logo, and of course his stand is printed as well. Oh, and once again, interesting detail. With the blasters, they went with the transparent blue stuff with the blaster instead of the transparent red like they did on all the other sets. So yeah, I still don't know why they did that. Maybe it's specifically for the 20th anniversary. I don't know. Anyway, but that's your 20th anniversary Lando Calrissian figure. Looks pretty good. And next up, we have ourselves a Rebel Hoth Trooper. Love the fact that they brought back the classic large Lego blaster cannon from the original Snowspeeder set. I always remember that scene in Lego Star Wars Complete Saga where a Rebel officer is like, "Oh, we need to bring out the big guns," and then just goes ham with this thing. Again, this was in the original Snowspeeder. Love that they brought it back. Interesting helmet design with both the hat and goggles. I believe you see Luke use this at the beginning of the movie, right before he's attacked by the Wampa. Good design on the head, rather plain, but nothing too crazy. And good detail on the torso with the rank insignia and a couple of code cylinders. There's a nice detail on the belt with the belt pouch. He's got himself a backpack in white. Need to take that off. And you got some good detailing on the back as well. No arm or leg printing, and no dual legs. It's nothing too crazy here with this guy. But the details they did give him and do look pretty good. And again, love that they brought back the classic blaster. It's a pretty good figure. And for our last two figures, we get both Luke Skywalker and Dak in their Rebel flight suits, which look absolutely fantastic. And got some crazy detail there with the life support system, the code cylinders on their right legs, the holes connected to the life system going all the way from the torso to the hip and a little bit onto the leg. That looks absolutely fantastic. As do their helmets. Luke is definitely a bit quite a bit more detailed than Dax, but both look great. The faces look good as well. Oh, take a look at the back. Not too crazy, but still pretty good detail. And as you can see, they both have alternate faces. Looks a bit more serious. Where Dax honestly kind of looks like a combination of both scared and angry. And as you can see, both have weapons. So they both have Han Solo style blaster pistols, and Luke has his lightsaber. The hilt is in the metallic gray, and of course the blade is in the transparent blue, which fortunately, from the looks of things, does not have any air bubbles. Fantastic, good detailed figures. These guys look great. And just for the fun of it, I've got the 20th anniversary Luke Skywalker from the Anakin Spot Racer, just to do a comparison of the same figure 20 years down the line, and as you can tell, the difference is just night and day. Yeah, even the helmets, though isn't too different. It's the same helmet mold. Well, it's still quite a bit more detailed than the original. Of course, there's in the time in the 20 years this for Star Wars figures and basically movie figures in general. Or they switched from the yellow skin tone to the more flesh tone. And again, just take a look at the detail on the torso and the legs. Again, it's just night and day. It goes from definitely looks like it, but relatively simple, to so much detail it's almost ridiculous. It just like I said, it's night and day. It's amazing how far Lego went with figure details in only 20 years. Alright, next up we have the Hoth dish turret. It is on a plate with one of the rotating clips on the bottom, so it does rotate a full 360 degrees. It's got a pretty good firing arc, and as you see, it's got a stud shooter on the side, so you guys know how those work. Don't worry, of course, Lego provided extras, but if you don't like having this stud shooter on, it is easily detachable. You can just pop on another great cheese slope, and it'll look just fine with or without it. Next to it, there's a little clip where you can see some macro binoculars. So you can give your Rebel Trooper, and there's a jumper, and there's a 2x2 jumper here. The box art shows this for like somewhere you can hold your big blaster, but I tend to like to use that for somewhere to place my trooper. There isn't really anywhere for the trooper to like grab onto this and kind of personally man it, but personally I think it doesn't really need it. Yeah, it doesn't really need it. Although that would make it a bit more accurate to the movies. If I had to guess, I'd say this has 60, about 60-ish pieces all in all, counting the little bit of terrain. But I think they did pretty good job with this turret. It looks pretty accurate to what you see in the movies, and it helps make that $40 price point not hurt so much. And finally, we have the Snowspeeder itself. It does have quite a few details on it. Unfortunately, yeah, as usual, when it comes to Lego, they are all stickers, but I don't remember having any trouble putting anything on. As you can see, they're still using the classic Lego blaster cannons for this thing. Although admittedly, they do work pretty well. Pardon the dust. There is a few bit more detailing on the engines, and so for air vents. This flap just doesn't want to move for me, but then again, it has basically just been sitting on my shelf for about 5 years. Here's the cockpit. It is easily openable. Oh, that just recently popped up. There we go. There we go. There's your full cockpit. There is plenty of space to fit both Luke, Dak, and all their weapons in there. I usually put the 2 blasters in here and the lightsaber along the edge. There is a little display on the front for Luke. And for Dak, he actually has a little bit of a targeting computer. I have a little bit of targeting computer where you can see the back of the Snowspeeder, a little bit of mountain, and even you can actually kind of make out an AT-AT back there. So nice detail back there. And on the back, you can see there's both a stud shooter and the classic Lego spool with the harpoon. As you can imagine, tying that string up to both the spool and the harpoon was definitely my least favorite part of the build. It always is with these Snowspeeders. But it works well, and it's nice that they decided to add the stud shooter and back to actually imply firing the tow cable. Speaking of firing mechanisms, you can see a pair of spring-loader shooters back there, and taking a look, you can take a look at the bottom. You can see they actually did a good job with lining up the spring-load shooter with the actual blaster to actually kind of imply that yes, the blast came from the actual blasters. And of course, you guys know spring-load shooters, just to give them a good enough nudge, and off they go. They'll go full flying who knows where. So yeah, pretty good. Pretty good design for the Snowspeeder. Let's go ahead I'm gonna show you actually getting the figures in there. So I'll start off with Dak. Blaster goes in there. You notice that there aren't any studs holding the figures down, so they can easily be removed if you want. Go ahead, grab Luke. Pop the other blaster in there. Like I said, go ahead. Usually put the lightsaber there. There's good enough. There's plenty of room in there. Oop. Might help if I can actually see what I'm doing. Yep, there we go. Both figures are in there. They're just fine. And there we go. Yep. It's a little cramped in there, but they like I said, they both fit along with all 3 of their weapons. So yeah, that's your Snowspeeder. That's everything in this set. Let's go on to my final thoughts. So for a total of originally $45 of Lego here, I think you get a pretty good deal. All the figures look great. It's, even the classic 20th anniversary Lando. The mini Snowspeeder is a fun little homage to the original Snowspeeder, the full-scale Snowspeeder, and the Rebel Turret look pretty good. There's a lot of fun functionality in these guys. I don't think people would be disappointed at spending $45 here. That might be a bit different now, knowing that you have to spend over $100 just to get the Snowspeeder set. And but if you but it's still a fun build, fun set. And if you try to get a hold of all the 20th anniversary figures, it's definitely a must. But that'll do it for my review of this set, of these sets, pardon me. Thank you for joining me for this video. If you enjoyed it, you guys know what to do. You can check out some more of my content on the end screen in just a few seconds. And I'll see you all in the next video. Later, everybody!